Hi, this is Bob from HeCooksForMe.com. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a great side dish. It's made out of sweet potatoes, so it's actually a bit healthier variety than just a russet potato or some other potato variety. It's an easy dish that could be made in the oven or it could be made on your grill. So you have lots of options depending on how you're going to be cooking for the day on your main entree. You can match this up with it. For today's recipe, we are going to use sweet potatoes. The sweet potatoes are white or yellow inside. A lot of times yams are also labeled as sweet potatoes and they're an orangey or red. We prefer the white or yellow for this recipe. We have 3 of them. You want them to be similar size so that they cook at similar time frames. We're also going to use garlic. You use 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. We like garlic, so we usually go towards 3 cloves. It can depend on how big your cloves are as well, so kind of do that to your taste. Extra virgin olive oil, we need 3 tablespoons. We have dried tarragon because it is winter time here, so it's hard to get fresh tarragon. We love the flavor of fresh, but with dried tarragon we use about 3/4 teaspoons. If you have fresh, it's 1.5 teaspoons. It's usually about double the amount of spice if you're using fresh to dried. Salt and pepper to taste. We like just 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. You want to actually cut the sweet potatoes up just into bite-sized chunks. I like to use a chef knife for this just because it's bigger, so it has more leverage to go through the potato. You cut the ends off after you wash the potato really well. These did grow in dirt, so you want to make sure you don't have any of that. And you're going to cut it maybe 3/4 inch. And so go through and make all the slices at about 3/4 of an inch. Then you're going to take your slices and just cut them up into bite sizes. So they'll all end up looking like that. With the magic of film, we're going to get them all done quick. So now I have all those sweet potatoes cut up. We're going to take a gallon-sized baggie, pour in all your other ingredients. So that's the olive oil, salt and pepper, tarragon, and garlic all minced up. And you do that in a bag first just so you can kind of get it all to marry together. It helps start bringing that tarragon back if you're using the dried tarragon. That salt will start melting into the olive oil as well. Once you get it mixed up a little bit, we're just going to fill all of these sweet potatoes into the bag. Seal it up. Don't get rid of the air in there though, because you need that room, because then you're just going to shake it. And you want to get all that oil and the spices so that they're all mixed in on the potatoes. So our 2 to 3 potatoes that we did should feed 4 to 6 people with pretty good serving sizes. Now that I have them all shook up and covered, you can see the spices covering it on there pretty well through the bag. You're just going to empty it out onto a baking pan. And spread them into as close to a single layer as you can get, because then they'll bake better. Then they're going to go into the oven at 350 degrees. I'll check them the first time about 20 minutes in. And the best way to check them is you just poke them with a fork. Once they're soft, they're done. If you cook them too long, they almost turn to mush. They're too soft, kind of like a mashed potato or something. You want to get them out before then. So about 20 minutes is the first time I check. Alternatively, if you're going to cook them on the grill, the best way to do it is in a foil packet. And so we'd put about a serving to serving half worth of potatoes into a foil packet. Just a sheet of foil about like that. And then you're going to fold it up and seal it so all those juices stay in there and it gets to steam up and cook. And that's ready to go on the grill. Whether you do it on the grill or whether you do it in the oven, you want to get them as close to a single layer as you can, and you're going to flip it halfway through the cooking time. So about 10 minutes, 12 minutes in, you're going to do a flip. On this one, you're going to take a spatula and just flip them all so that it gets equal cooking opportunity on all sides. When your sweet potatoes are done, you'll be able to tell because you can poke a fork into them really easily, and yet they're still a solid piece, so they'll be a good bite. These did take a bit longer than what I indicated earlier. These will actually in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes because I made the pieces probably a little bit bigger than I normally do. So you do have to check on them and make sure that they're getting done to the point that you're ready to eat them. So tonight for dinner we're having a quick chicken cordon bleu, and we spiced it up with some garlicky sweet potatoes and some prosciutto wrapped asparagus.